Sixth grade lesson 2.8 is modeling mixed number division. And generally, you don't use the models to solve the division as you learn it, but this is kind of one of those lessons that's helpful for your brain to see what's going on, so that when we show your brain how to do it, it's more accepting of it. So be patient with this. You're just gonna give your brain a chance to kind of puzzle through this. And then we'll get into, once our brain can accept the fact that this is what's happening, then we'll move into the steps to divide in the following lessons. So we're talking about, if they start off using these tangrams or pattern blocks, I don't remember what they call them, but we're using these blocks. And if you look on our Yoda page for the Yoda Classroom that this lesson video is linked to, you'll also see one of the Baby Yodas has a link to pattern blocks. So you could use pattern blocks on your screen digitally if you need to manipulate them. So those are there. A link to them is available. If you don't have access to that Yoda page I'm talking about, just Google pattern blocks. You should be able to find some online. So let's get started. So the first section is talking about a science teacher who has 1 2/3 cup of baking soda and is performing an experiment mixing 1/6 cup of baking soda with vinegar. So if the teacher is going to use the same amount of baking soda for each experiment, how many times can she perform the experiment? So you're taking out of the whole amount 1/6 cup every time. Repeated subtraction, of course, is division. Or we're splitting equally the original amount of 1 2/3 cups into 1/6 cup pieces. So by now, hopefully you're getting comfortable with the fact that that kind of scenario is a division problem. How many 1/6 cup pieces will you get out of 1 2/3? And so we'll learn the steps for dividing that, but for now, we're just going to look at what that looks like. So first I'm going to model with the pattern blocks 1 whole and 2/3 of another whole. So 2 out of 3 broken pieces. So there's 1 broken piece, 2 broken pieces, 3 broken pieces. So that's 1 2/3 modeled. Now we chose the hexagon pieces because it's got 6 sides and there's your denominator of 6. So you can break things easily into 6 equal pieces. And I even did dotted lines to show how our 6 pieces would divide out. Okay. So here I have 1 full representing this one and 2/3 of another. So that's the 2 parallelograms put together, the blue pieces put together. And I want to know how many 1/6 pieces will fit on top of that perfectly. So I'm going to find my 1/6 pieces. I think on the website they are green, so I'm going to go ahead and cover with the 1/6 pieces that are going to look like this. They're going to look like these triangles here, because notice we put these into 1/6 pieces, so they're going to look similar to that. I believe they're green, and you're going to find those and you're just going to place them on top of your hexagon to see how many will cover that and the 2/3 over here. And you'll count those up. How many covered that? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. And that is the modeled version of 1 2/3 divided into 1/6 pieces. She's going to be able to do 10 experiments with the amount she started with 1 2/3 cups. If she's taking 1/6 out at a time, 10 experiments to do. So on page 82, they also model as with bar, like a candy bar. I'm always thinking of food, I know, but they're model as a candy bar kind of format too. So now we're talking about Naomi, who has 2 1/4 quart of lemonade. And she wants to divide the lemonade equally between 2 pitchers. How many quarts of lemonade should she pour into each pitcher? So what we're going to do is we're going to model with the bar. We know that she's starting with 2 1/4 and it's being split equally into 2 containers. So that's what we've got there. A lot of times for me, if I'm talking about containers, I draw containers, but let's go ahead and follow what they did here. This is 2 whole and a little bit more. So as a bar, I'm going to draw 2 whole And I'm going to draw the third one also because there's a little bit more, but I'm only going to use 1/4 of that third one. So I'm going to break it into 4 equal pieces. Middle, that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 hash marks because of the edges gives me 1, 2, 3, 4 equal pieces. And then I'm going to shade in of those candy bars. I'm going to shade in the amount that I have. I have 2 full, 1, 2, and I have 1/4 of a third one. So that's the amount I have. This is kind of the amount that I don't have. That's kind of like, in fact, I'll put some eraser things through it to kind of dot it out so that we know we don't really have those. Those aren't there. Imaginary, right? Okay. And now I want to divide this amount here into 2 equal pieces. Well, probably for me, the easiest way to divide 2 equal pieces of this whole thing is just to go straight down the center. So I'm going to go ahead and go straight down the center. Pretend this is straight down the center. There we go. And I'm going to look at just one of those 2 equal pieces. So here I have 1/2 and 1/2. So just 1/2. I'm going to really focus in. Let me go ahead and color in what I want to focus in on. That, and that, which is one of the 2 equal pieces that I split it into. So this is 1/2 of a whole. This is 1/2 of a whole, which, as you well know, when we put those together is 1 whole. And this over here is 1 out of, let me extend this out, what would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal pieces. So 1 out of 8 equal pieces put together with the 1 whole. The answer in each picture, she's going to put 1 1/8 quarts of lemonade. So that's the modeling of that. So this lesson, again, use those pattern blocks on the website to help you kind of ponder it out. You lay out the first amount, what that looks like, and then you split it the way that it wants you to do it. So practice with it, mess with it a little bit, let your brain digest it. You might stumble a little bit with it. That's okay. Just, keep working on it. Seek help from me if you need it. But I think you'll be fine on this one. I'm happy to help, though, if you need it.